A doctor's confession. 8 collagen foods for healthy legs. I know, there are mornings when you wake up and feel like your legs no longer belong to you. The aching pain spreads from your knees down to your ankles, and you wonder if you'll ever be able to walk comfortably like you used to. I understand, because in my 40 years of practice in the United States, I've met thousands of patients just like you. And I want to share with you something I've learned through all those years. It's not age that's our enemy, but rather our lack of understanding about how to nourish this body. Do you know that every year after age 60, our bodies lose nearly 15% of their natural collagen? That's not just a dry statistic. That's the reason why each morning when you wake up, you feel your joints are a bit stiffer, your legs a bit heavier. I used to think this was inevitable, until I realized that nature has bestowed upon us precious gifts, simple foods that contain healing power few would suspect. Today I want to confide in you about 8 foods that have changed the lives of hundreds of my patients, and perhaps will change your life too. First food, bone broth, liquid medicine for joints. I still remember Martha's story vividly, a 68-year-old woman from Ohio. She came to my clinic with legs so swollen she couldn't wear shoes in the afternoon. Martha told me that every morning when she woke up, she felt like someone was tightening a grip around her knees. I looked into her tired eyes and knew that painkillers weren't the long-term answer. I advised Martha to try something my grandmother had done her entire life, homemade bone broth. Not because I don't trust modern medicine, but because I understand that sometimes the simplest things bring the most powerful results. Bone broth. It's like liquid collagen that the body can absorb immediately. When you simmer bones for hours, precious proteins, natural gelatin, and minerals slowly dissolve into the water. It's not just a bowl of soup, but a natural healing dose for worn-out joints. Martha started drinking a bowl of bone broth every morning. Just after 3 weeks, she called me with an emotional voice. "Doctor, I can wear high heels to my grandchild's wedding now." When I re-examined her, I saw the swelling had significantly reduced, and more importantly, Martha's eyes were bright again. To make bone broth properly, you need patience. Use beef or chicken bones with many joints, add a bit of apple cider vinegar to draw minerals from the bones, and simmer on low heat for 12-24 hours. The aroma spreading through the house not only warms the heart, but also signals that precious nutrients are being released. Bone broth isn't a miracle cure, but it's a reliable companion for joints that need care. Every sip you drink, you're nourishing the collagen fibers in your body, helping them become softer and more flexible. Second food, beef tendons, hidden collagen treasure. Robert was a 72-year-old veteran, a resilient man who had lived with joint pain for 15 years. He came to see me with undisguised worry. "Doctor, I'm afraid I won't be able to play with my grandchildren anymore." That statement made me choke up, because I understood that for people like Robert, mobility wasn't just about physicality, but about dignity and the meaning of life. I introduced Robert to a food many people shy away from: beef tendons. I know it sounds strange, but beef tendons are the densest source of type I collagen that nature can provide. It's like you're directly supplying raw materials to rebuild damaged collagen fibers in joints. Robert looked at me with skeptical eyes. "Doctor, how can I eat that?" I smiled and told him about how my grandmother used to cook beef tendons, simmering them on low heat for hours until they became soft as jelly, blending with irresistibly delicious flavors. After being fully cooked, beef tendons have a soft, chewy texture. And most importantly, they contain 3 to 4 times more collagen than regular meat. Every piece of beef tendon Robert ate, he was providing his body with collagen peptides that could go straight to joints needing restoration. Just after 6 weeks, Robert called with good news. "Doctor, yesterday I played ball with my grandson for a whole hour without pain." His laughter on the other end made me feel that all those years of studying and researching had meaning. I understand not everyone is used to eating beef tendons, but if you patiently learn how to prepare them, they can become one of the most powerful tools for joint health recovery. Start with small pieces, cook in flavorful broth, and gradually your body will feel the difference. Third food, whole sardines, gift from the ocean. Eleanor, 71, was a retired teacher with chronic joint inflammation. She told me that every afternoon her legs swelled so much she had to soak them in warm salt water for relief. "Doctor, I used to love morning walks. Now I can only sit by the window and sigh." Eleanor's words touched my heart, and I decided to share with her about a food I had researched for many years: whole sardines. Not just the flesh, but their skin and soft bones, too. I explained to Eleanor that the small soft bones in sardines contain an amazing amount of natural collagen, along with calcium and phosphorus, that help bones and joints stay strong. Sardine skin contains elastin and omega-3, substances that help fight inflammation and promote the self-healing process of connective tissues. "But doctor, how can I eat those little fish?" Eleanor asked with concern. I understood her worry and guided her through simple preparation: mash sardines with bones, mix with butter and a bit of lemon, spread on toasted bread, or mix into salads with olive oil and aromatic herbs. Eleanor started eating sardines 3 times a week. A miracle happened after 4 weeks. "Doctor, yesterday I walked for 30 minutes without needing to stop." Her voice was joyful like a child's. During follow-up, I saw the inflammation had noticeably reduced, and, more importantly, Eleanor had regained confidence in her mobility. Sardines may not be familiar food, but they are small pearls from the ocean, bringing natural collagen and anti-inflammatory substances to joints that need care. Give them a chance, and you might be surprised by the results. Fourth food, natural gelatin. Easily absorbed collagen. William, 69, was a man with long-standing digestive issues. He came to see me not just for joint pain, but also worried that his weak stomach couldn't absorb supplements. "Doctor, I've tried many things, but it seems my body can't receive them." I understood William's concern and introduced him to natural gelatin. This is collagen that's been pre-digested, meaning the body can absorb it easily even when the digestive system no longer functions as efficiently as before. Gelatin is like a bridge between raw food and the body's needs. When dissolved in warm water, it creates a solution full of small collagen peptides that can go straight to joints to begin the regeneration process. I guided William on how to use unflavored gelatin. Dissolve a tablespoon in warm tea each morning, or add to broth, or make natural fruit jelly. "Doctor, is it that simple?" William asked with surprise. "Sometimes the simplest things bring the best results," I replied. And indeed, just after 10 days, William called to report he felt lighter when walking, and more importantly, his stomach wasn't uncomfortable like before. After 8 weeks of regular use, William could return to the gardening activities he loved. "Doctor, I can kneel down to prune trees without anyone helping me." His joy made me realize that sometimes the best solutions are right in front of us. Gelatin not only nourishes joints, but is also gentle on the digestive system. For people like William, this might be the easiest path to supplement collagen without stressing the body. Fifth food, chicken skin, precious protective layer. Dorothy, 66, was a health-conscious woman who always removed chicken skin when cooking. She came to see me with stiff knee joints that made going up and down stairs torture. "Doctor, I eat very healthily, exercise regularly, so why do my joints still hurt?" I looked at Dorothy and saw the disappointment in her eyes. After learning about her diet, I discovered something interesting. Dorothy had inadvertently eliminated one of the best natural collagen sources, chicken skin. "Doctor, chicken skin has a lot of fat. I don't dare eat it," Dorothy said. I understood her concern, but also wanted to share new discoveries with her. Chicken skin contains type I collagen, exactly the type of collagen found in our joints, cartilage, and ligaments. I explained to Dorothy that proper cooking would melt away unnecessary fat, leaving the precious collagen portion. When roasted or slow simmered, chicken skin becomes an excellent natural collagen source without raising cholesterol, as many people worry. Dorothy decided to try. She started cooking whole chickens, simmering on low heat, until the skin became soft and easily digestible. Just after 3 weeks, she called excitedly, "Doctor, today I went upstairs without holding the handrail." What was special about Dorothy was that she learned to appreciate parts of food she previously considered bad. After 2 months, she could return to the long walks she loved. "Doctor, who would have thought that what I used to throw away was what I needed most?" Chicken skin teaches us a valuable lesson. Sometimes what we avoid is exactly what our body craves. When prepared properly, chicken skin is not only delicious, but also an excellent natural collagen source for joints. Sixth food, canned salmon with bones, nutritional treasure. Frank, 74, was a man living alone after his wife passed away. He came to see me not just for joint pain, but also because he felt tired of complicated cooking. "Doctor, I want to eat well for my health, but don't know how to keep it simple." I understood Frank's situation and introduced him to canned salmon with bones. Many people usually throw away these soft bones, not knowing they are treasures of natural collagen and calcium. "Doctor, how can fish bones be eaten?" Frank asked with surprise. I explained that the canning process had softened these bones. They could be mashed together with the fish meat, creating a mixture rich in collagen and omega-3. I guided Frank through simple preparation. Open the salmon can, use a fork to mash bones and meat together, mix with a bit of butter and lemon, spread on toasted bread. Or mix into salads, cook porridge. All simple, but nutritious. Frank started eating salmon with bones 3 times a week. Just after 4 weeks, he called excitedly, "Doctor, I can walk to the market without needing a cart." His joy warmed my heart. After 10 weeks, Frank could return to activities he loved, like tending the small garden behind his house. "Doctor, who would have thought that a simple can of fish could change my life like this?" Canned salmon with bones teaches us that health doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. Sometimes simple, easily available foods bring the most wonderful benefits. Seventh food, pumpkin seeds, small gems for joints. Helen, 67, was an active woman who started feeling joint stiffness in the mornings. She came to see me with worry. "Doctor, I'm afraid I'll have to depend on others." The fear in Helen's voice made me understand she needed not just medical treatment, but also faith and hope. I shared with Helen about pumpkin seeds, small gems that nature bestows. They may not contain collagen directly, but they contain essential minerals like zinc, magnesium, and manganese, the workers that help the body produce collagen itself. "Doctor, just these tiny seeds?" Helen asked skeptically. I smiled and explained that sometimes the greatest power lies hidden in the smallest things. Pumpkin seeds are like small batteries, providing energy for the collagen production machinery in the body. I guided Helen on usage. Soak pumpkin seeds overnight, with a bit of salt for easier digestion. Then roast dry or eat raw. Can sprinkle on salads, mix into yogurt, or grind and add to smoothies. Helen started eating a handful of pumpkin seeds daily. After 6 weeks, she called happily, "Doctor, this morning I woke up without joint stiffness, like before." That small thing meant a lot to Helen. After 3 months, Helen could return to the senior yoga class she loved. "Doctor, these tiny seeds gave me back the feeling of youth." Her smile when saying that made me realize that sometimes the smallest changes bring the greatest happiness. Pumpkin seeds teach us that we don't always need big, complicated things. Sometimes the tiniest gems contain miraculous healing power. Eighth food, egg yolks, silent friend. George, 70, was a man who had worried about cholesterol and only ate egg whites for many years. He came to see me with weak joints and frequent cramps. "Doctor, I've been eating carefully. Why is it still like this?" I looked at George and saw the fatigue of someone who had worried too much about health while forgetting to properly nourish his body. I shared with him about egg yolks, the part he had skipped for many years. "Doctor, egg yolks have a lot of cholesterol," George said worriedly. I understood his concern, but also wanted to share new knowledge. Egg yolks contain biotin, sulfur, and vitamin D, substances that don't directly provide collagen, but help the body produce collagen more effectively. I explained to George that new research shows that for most elderly people, eating whole eggs doesn't increase bad cholesterol, but may even support good cholesterol. More importantly, egg yolks provide necessary substances for healthy bones and joints. George decided to try. He started eating whole eggs, soft-boiled or fried with olive oil. Just after 2 weeks, he called, "Doctor, I don't get cramps anymore." That sounded simple, but for George, it was a big change. After 8 weeks, George could walk longer without feeling tired. "Doctor, who would have thought that what I had avoided for years was so important?" His words made me reflect on how sometimes we fear things that aren't scary, while overlooking things that are truly beneficial. Egg yolks teach us a lesson about balance. Not everything we've heard is correct, and not everything we fear is harmful. Sometimes listening to the body and giving it what it needs is most important. You know, after 40 years as a doctor, what moves me most isn't complex surgeries or expensive medications, but those moments when I see my patients regain faith in their bodies, in their own healing abilities. I remember the day Martha called to say she could dance with her husband on their 50th wedding anniversary. I remember Robert's eyes when he talked about being able to play with his grandchildren without worrying about joint pain. I remember Eleanor's laughter when she shared about her first long walk in years. These stories aren't miracles. They're simply the result of understanding and loving your own body. The 8 foods I just shared aren't magic cures. They're just loyal friends, ready to support your body on its journey of regeneration and healing. I know, you might be thinking it's too late. That age has damaged too much. But I want to tell you what I've witnessed thousands of times. Our bodies have miraculous self-healing abilities, regardless of age. We just need to give them the opportunity and proper nutrients. You don't need to change everything immediately. Start with one food, one small step. Maybe a warm bowl of bone broth on a cold morning, maybe a handful of crispy pumpkin seeds for an afternoon snack, or simply a whole egg cooked with love for yourself. I want you to remember that every day you choose to care for your body, you're investing in brighter days ahead. Every collagen-rich bite you put into your body, you're sending a message of love to tired joints, to loose ligaments. And most importantly, be patient with yourself. The body needs time to regenerate, to heal. There will be days when you feel nothing has changed. But trust that inside, miraculous processes are happening. New collagen fibers are forming, connective tissues are being strengthened, joints are being lubricated and nourished. I don't promise you that everything will return to your youth, but I believe you can feel better, lighter, more confident in every step. I believe you can enjoy simple pleasures that joint pain has taken away, like walking in morning sunlight, playing with grandchildren, or simply waking up without worrying about pain. Remember that. Old age isn't the end, but a new chapter of life. And in this chapter, you have every right to write stories about health, about joy, about steady steps on your own journey. I'll always be here as a companion, ready to share knowledge and experiences that life has taught me, and I believe these simple foods will become your loyal friends on the path to regaining health and joy in living. Start today with a light heart, a heart full of hope, and a meal prepared with love for yourself. Your body is waiting, and I believe it won't disappoint you, wishing you healthy and happy days ahead.